Joining us right now to talk about inflation and where things stand is former Fed Vice Chairman and CNBC contributor Roger Ferguson. Roger, we've been asking similar variations of this question over the last couple of days, but where do you think we are? Do you think that this is mission accomplished for the Fed at this point? Do you think we've seen the peak of inflation?
I think we've probably seen the peak in inflation, Becky. I think the question is, how much is it going to take to get it down to the 2% number?
I guess I should say not peak in inflation, peak in rates.
Peak in rates, yes, I think probably so, and we've seen the 10-year come off. But really the question, as I've said, is, the market thinks the Fed is done. I think many Fed officials are hoping that's the case. But I also think you're going to hear a certain amount of uncertainty from them because they don't want to have a head fake of announcing or thinking they're done and then having to start again.
Here's my question, and we spoke earlier this morning with Nick Timmeros about this, too. 5 weeks ago, everybody was thinking that, rates were running higher very quickly. It was getting a little out of control, and we thought maybe the Fed had lost control over what was happening, that it was going to be concerns about the federal government's spending being out of control that would continue to drive rates. Are we past that concern, too?
Yeah, I think we are past the concern. Look, I think we recognize that there's still going to be quite a bit of issuance because the deficit picture is as it is. But having said that, I think what we've discovered is the market is able to digest it maybe better than we had feared. And that's a good news. And in part, that's important because the Fed itself is also trying to, over time, lighten up its balance sheet. China, which has been a purchaser, looks like it's likely to slow down. But I think the market is breathing a bit of a sigh of relief that, in fact, the issuance can be digested with other purchasers. So that's good. And I would also say, we sometimes ignore the fact, even some Fed officials, that what happens with long rates depends very much on what's happening at the short end of the curve. And the expectation, probably right, that the Fed is probably close to done has also helped, I think, calm things a bit in the marketplace.
Mary Daly, the San Francisco Federal Reserve president, has been very cautious about it, though, saying while this has been very encouraging, she doesn't want to say anything too quickly because the Fed would lose a lot of credibility if they then had to come back and raise rates again.
I think Mary Daly, President Daly, is reflecting what I would describe as the broad middle of the FOMC. There are 12 voting members, 19 in total, and I think many of them are in that place of let's just be cautious. We don't want to have a head fake. And let me take you back to what I said earlier. It's one thing to see inflation coming down, but still having a 3 handle. And core PC is likely to come in, above 3%. It's another thing to say inflation is coming down closer and closer to the 2% target. And so I think we're going to hear more discussion around what is it going to take to actually get them to achieve the target. So President Daly's caution, I think, is well advised, and we should just all recognize that. I think she's speaking for what I believe will ultimately be many of her colleagues on the FOMC.
There are some people, including Jeremy Siegel, who is looking for rates to come down as early as March to start seeing rate cuts because of weakness in the economy. You think that's the case, or does the higher for longer still kind of stick in there?
I think expectations should be more likely cutting starting in the second half of the year. And it goes back to, how quickly core inflation comes down. It is still, running well above the target, as I said, a 3% number. And people have gotten very focused on the headline number, but the core number was actually didn't move very much thus far. And so, one has to really be, and I think this is what Mary Daly is telling us, let's be a little cautious about celebrating just yet the, victory, job done, because there's a little bit more to go before and I think we can be comfortable that it's heading towards the 2% goal, not stuck over 3%.